too much overload because the system as it is now won't handle it anymore. So I think it's kind of exciting. You know, back in the 80s and 90s, you know, even the beginning of this millennia, the film industry was like, yeah, you know, open slather, it was pretty easy to get by, and funding seemed limitless. It's not the case anymore, and I think it's forced us into a place where we have to learn to be more creative and do it without all the advantages we had before. So it's exciting, and technology is exciting too. I mean, most of the cameras up there at the back are probably, you know, little digital jobs, right? Yeah, are they digital? Most of those cameras probably, and the quality of those things is amazing now. And they, you know, I as a director, I'll never use film again. I won't use film anymore. I'm just going to go digital. But then Apocalypto is completely digital. So, and it works. It scans the film, and I don't know, I just find it's really exciting what's happening technologically. And I mean, if you want to push it to all the way about the kind of sensory or technological experience of what the camera's doing.
And thank you. Along the same lines for Graham, you interested?
Okay, I think it was a misinterpretation. I said the reason I left acting in the beginning was because I felt like it was getting stale. And to come back, it was just time to come back. But and what was the second part?
Oh, if you prefer an actor or director?
Directing is far more fulfilling if you're into storytelling. It just takes longer because there's a lot more work involved. And in a way, this is a kind of a breather. It should just be a component rather than trying to eat the whole enchilada, if you like. Okay.
Yeah.
Per se makes one more conscious about the relationship with your family. I think just day-to-day living in time does that. But, you know, one has to venture into dark places. I mean, if you're talking about your children, like, being taken from you untimely, I mean, that's the whole parental id, is you're supposed to shuffle off first before the kids do. So one has to venture into dark territory a little bit. You kind of focus on what that means. Family stuff, you know, family stuff will always be family stuff. There's no escape from it. Sometimes you wish there was. But I don't really know how to answer that. Anyway, I said something. I know I just finished working on a film that was directed by Jodie Foster. It was about a man with a beaver puppet on his hand. Okay? He has a small, you know, he's got the largest, the beaver is the largest, like, what do they call it? It's in the mouse rat family. It's a rodent. It's the largest. There's a man walking around with his hand stuck up a ratty-looking rodent that he found in the dumpster, trying to cope with clinical depression. So, I did it. You know, but that doesn't rule out all sorts of things. I mean, I'm working with Shane Black again, who was he was the guy who wrote the first Lethal Weapon. But he also he's a pretty accomplished director. He directed a film called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Downey, and pretty good. And he's directing something, and he's on the warpath with him later on. But at the moment, I'm going down to Mexico because to make a film about a prison down there. So, which is a story I really want to write. That should be fun. So there's all kinds of things that are fun.
Thank you.
There's a little piece of security in knowing that he was the original director on the TV thing so many years ago, and that he is the only one of that was a very good reason to do it again. Was because he was involved. I mean, if somebody else was doing it, you would have thought twice. But the fact that it's the same guy directing gave it an extra, you know, man, I can't talk yet. It's jet lag, you know. So forgive me. But it gave you extra security.
first of all, yeah, the original title. Martin really wanted to use the original title. He'd wanted to make this for about 6 or 7 years. We were talking about it, and we would have these conversations, and he would go off to direct a movie, and go to Casino Royale, and I'd go off and make movies, and then we'll talk about it again, and suddenly, it's all about timing, and the timing is right. But Martin, was adamant that we stick to the original series and the title. So I have the title here, you guys tell me. It sounds good to me.
Well, what made you decide to participate in a project of Mexico?
Okay, so, I worked on a part of it. I was there for 8 months, and I really enjoyed the experience of working in Mexico. And I became very good friends with my first AD, and together we wrote this story. Fish out of water, story about a gringo inside a Mexican prison. And so I like working down there. I like it because it's a fully Mexican production. This is not like a production from the United States going to Mexico. It's a Mexican production. And so that's interesting. But nothing really happens in Los Angeles anymore. It's all, I always go somewhere else to work. I don't even know why I live there. I told you, honest as a riddle. The playing field never got leveled, so it's really expensive to work in Los Angeles if you want to make a film. So it's always good to go somewhere else. Anyway, and the second part of the question was about the prison.
About being empty, full film. What do you think about it being empty, full film?
Well, they were going to empty it anyway because human rights has been saying for years at the place. And so there's needs to be there. And the government was going to empty it anyway. It brought a lot of good because a lot of people who were awaiting trial and stuff, it's forced the system to look at everyone and sort of, make sure that everyone's dealt with in a just way, in a just way. So, it's good.
Okay, thank you.
It isn't always the case, but it's just, a lot of them. Everything from, the Greek tragedies, the Orestian trilogy, to Romeo and Juliet, to this. There's only 7 plots and so many different kinds of characters. Okay? It's just the way you dice it up and the way it's executed. And I think in that lies the art. So, there is a similarity there. I understand what you're saying. And, so what,
Called The Tourist, with Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp, based on a French film called Anthony Zimmer. Excited about putting the Viking project together with Mel here. He's one of the best filmmakers, and that's really exciting. I have a film coming out called The Town that Ben Affleck directed later this year, and an animation movie coming out called Rango, directed by Gordon Lindsay, with Johnny Depp playing a big role.
Muy bien, pues tenemos un aplauso para ellos. Thank you very much for being with us. Muchas gracias también por estar con nosotros. Esta noche tenemos la premier y bueno, pues hasta la próxima. Muchas gracias y